Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am extremely late today with my stream. And I'm not sure how long I'll stream for as a result of it, but it's just one of those days. Um, Happy Chinese New Year, all that. So just a lot of things were going on and a traffic jams from where I was and where I was coming to. So life happens, and here we are um, with a late start, and just wanted to acknowledge that, and that um, I will see how long we go for as a result of the lateness. My apologies, and give myself grace because trying to get to where I need to be, and you get a little flustered. So I've grounded, I've calmed down because I don't like that. So you can imagine how you can, this is where one of those teachings where I teach how to just give yourself grace. So I had to do that today because I don't like being late, and I'm considerably late, one accident after another. um, and thankfully I prayed that everybody was okay in those accidents, and thankful I got home safe and was not part of that. So there's always something to be grateful for. So let's get going. The topic today for my stream is the intention of you. And I really wanted to, have this stream and this discussion before the end of January. And I think it's wonderful in terms of bringing in the Chinese New Year, the year of the rabbit, and to really talk and see that when we talk about intentions, and the way I did the description on some of the platforms was that we're bombarded with the messages about find your purpose, live to your purpose, pursue your purpose, and not knocking that. When I say that, I think that's great messaging, but I always try to get back to the practicality of what these things are saying and guiding, and what the words really mean, and what it means for you to make sense in your own life and where you are in the circumstances and the situations that you are in your own life. What do those things really mean? They sound wonderful. It sounds wonderful, and many times we as coaches we say these things, but they're easier said than done, and we know that for ourselves, our own journey through life. We know that these things are easier said than done because we had to peel our own onion skin. We had to deal with our own shites. We had to, you know, clean up and grow and aim for exponential. Certainly what I call divine tastical living. So all of these things come into play, and with the word of intention, it's so many dimensions to the intention. But where I want to focus this is not from the perspective, not intention from the perspective of what are your intentions. When you go to focus and stuff, it's really about thinking about us as individuals, as spirit beings, as those having a lived experiences and a human experience. What was what do you think was the intention of you? And it's coming at it from a different angle, because I'm Jen Drakes. What do? I change perspectives to change lives. So now looking at that whole conversation of being purpose driven, finding your purpose, come at it from the perspective of what do you believe was the intention of you? Or does that even confuse you, where you never quite looked at it in that way, and just hearing it is a very disturbs you or worries you, or think, well, sometimes I ask, why am I here? And we've all been there where we said, what's the purpose? I can, I always talk about the that vivid moment in my life as a child, where I sat in these tall grass area in a field, and the grass was very tall, and I was in the midst of this grass, really having a conversation with my perception of God at that time, and going, what in the world? Like, who are you? And, you know, and as a child, just kind of really venting and asking. And in the midst of that, it really was, why am I here? You know, from the child language, from the child antics, from the animations, of my despair, then it was really translated to, why am I here? Like, what is it that you want from me? What do you know? And not having the maturity of the words per se, but at the end of the day, that's what that was the question I was asking. So I'm now with 2023 here, a new year not so long started. We are 21 days into a 356 day year. So 365 days, so 21 days into a 365-day year. So what I want you to start to look at and ask the question, or start to explore the intention of you being here, the intention of of the spirit coming in and being birthed. And what was that intention of you? Do you have a sense of that? And how do you, you know, if you could articulate or start to explore, what words would you use to reflect on that and to ponder that? And if you've gone through that journey already in your living experiences, and you think you have the answer, I'd love you to jump on and just share that as well. I'm like, you really would love to know where you've landed in that thought of the intention of you. And I believe there's a number of factors, you know, that you have to consider to arrive at you know, something meaningful for you. I think you have to come into awareness of the of your innate gifts. You have to come into awareness of those things you were blessed with that are meant for you to use in that intention, right? Like I keep always saying, my gifts were writing, speaking, and influencing. Those are my gifts, and that's why I love you know, podcasting. That's why I love streaming and being here, to actually talk and trigger thoughts and conversations. So when you are thinking about that, what have you even landed on your innate gifts? Have you come to terms with that? Have you embraced those gifts? Have you explored those gifts? Are you still in the midst of taking them for granted? Because I certainly was like that, where I took them for granted. I didn't have to think about, you know, language to communicate it. It came. I'm a language person more than a mathematical. Sometimes we lean on one side more heavily than the other. Mine is language. So, but I took it for granted. It was very easy for me to say things, to simplify things with language, or to write my thoughts down and capture them, and all that. That did not, it didn't give me, it was a massively hurdle. Math, now I had to think a little bit more about it. I had to really, you know, get to a more focused state on math. So I never really took math for granted, but I definitely did take my language skills for granted. So are you still in that, you know, are you still in that space and that development stage of where you're trying to figure out what your gifts are, or and you're still taking them for granted because they come really simple for you, which is what most innate gifts are. They come very simple to you, and you perfect them. Of course, you know, they come simple, but you still work on them and perfect them. Like, you know, right, authoring is something I'm still even growing in. Poetry is something I'm still growing in, even though I can sit and write a poem um, pretty quickly to perfect it to the level of some of the greatest poets. You know, that still takes practice. It still takes working on that. So, but does it give you joy? Does it, like when you're in that space of, you know, when I'm in a space where I'm reading or I'm writing or I'm speaking, I am really in a euphoric state. And it's the only word I can think on how my spirit and soul feels when I'm doing those things. So are you still discovering that space for yourself? And if you had to answer, the intention of you, if you had to really speak to that, how would you speak to that? How would you speak to that and express that? And I think, you know, I that's where I wanted this topic before the year ended. And I think it's just timely to have landed on another new year culturally, but another new year that's pretty significant. And to reflect on that for a moment. What is the intention of you? And I think we all were born perfect and magnificent. So we all have our own flavor of magnificence. And can we embrace that and really, claim our thrones? Are we at that state, or are we still, you know, trying to figure it out, and we're still doubting ourselves and holding back because you're carrying some shite about around it, and by the way, when I say shites, it stands for stuff harbored inside that eventually sabotages. And these are the things we walk around with that are guiding our life and our decisions and our perspectives and our mindset and everything without us really knowing that or recognizing that. So, where are you in your journey of life? And where, at this point in time, do you have a thought on the intention of you? Because I happen to believe that we all have an amazing intention and purpose, an amazing intention and purpose. And I believe that our interactions and the people that come into our life have the same, amazing intention and purpose for us and us for them. So, there's ourselves and there's others, and through those interactions of flow and everything, we are connected. So what do you think the intention, when you think of something you do without even thinking, something you do that you could do forever and be so contented, and so satisfied and so full of achievement when you're done? What is that? What is the intention of you? And I just want to plant that seed. And I want, as I plant that seed, for all of you to sow it. Sow that seed, nurture that seed, water that seed, deweed that seed, anti waste that seed that's been planted, and arrive at, you know, an intention of yourself, an intention of why you're here. What, another way you hear is a lot of people, especially coaches, coaching people about, you know, the business of coaching, or about the social media of coaching, is know your why, know what your why is, right? And the why can translate into the intention of you. The why can translate into that. So there's different ways to come at it, but I think it's such a graceful, humbling way to translate the purpose and the whys and the, passions and all of that. I think it's so poetic, so beautiful to say, translate all those words that can sometimes be hard to grasp and pull in and embrace, to say the intention of you. I think that can be embraced. I think it's a soft way to say magnificence. It's a soft way to say you have worth. It's a beautiful way to say, I see your potential. Do you see it? I see your potential. Do you see your potential? And if you don't see your potential, what can we do to help you see that potential? Right? Can you imagine someone sitting down with you and saying, there's an intention for you. There's an intention for this life you're living. There's an intention for the spirit that inhabits that body. There's an intention. Wow. Like that's, my one word I keep using this year is wowsy. Wow. Wowsy. Right? That's a wowsy moment. That's a, like, a nurturing moment, a mentorship moment, a hug moment. Those are that's a loving moment. To have someone sit there and say, your spirit has an intention. Do you know what that is? So I'm here and asking you and saying that to you. What is the intention of you? Do you know it? Can you articulate it? Can you reflect on it? Can you hug it? Can you stroke it? Can you speak it? Can you see it? And then the more phenomenal one, can you feel it? Can you really feel in your very being, from your God spark, from within out, that you have an intention? You were birthed with an intention. You were conceived with an intention. And what is the value of you learning that intention? What's the value of you exploring that intention? What is the value of you pursuing that intention? What's the value on your life? What's the value on those in your life? What's the value of it on you living your life? What's the value on you discovering it, pursuing it, and executing on that intention? Just pause for a moment and think about that. How profound, how worthy. So now you can better understand when I say, I do what I do because you have worth. When I say you are worthy, when I say you are worth more, every time I get an email, to me, I feel like I'm putting out a blessing onto the person, because my email is Jenn at youareworthmore.co. And I'm not just saying that. I believe it. I'm everyone that uses that email to me is being blessed and being handed and stroked with love. And that's why my 3 words are lead with love. And I do that even with the very words of my email and my what I call my purpose is, and my intention, the intention of me is to make everyone I interact with get a sense of their worth. Start to appreciate that they have value. Start to appreciate they are worth more, and not just from a financial perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from a physical perspective, from a emotional perspective, from a mindset perspective. You are worth more. So when my email is Jenn at youareworthmore.co, you now get the significance of that. And it sets my intention for you and how I interact with you and how I feel about you and my feelings about you, whether I know you deeply or not, is that you are a magnificent being and you have worth. And you are certainly worth more than you can possibly imagine. And are you pursuing the intention of you with the same sentiment, with the same potential that I see for all of you and for all of us? We all have a potential, we all have a worth, and we all have an intention. So, what is the intention of you? And I invite anyone to jump on and share with me their thoughts of that related to themselves. And being on the journey of pursuing that for myself, I can tell you it is an amazing journey. It's a transformative journey. It is a catalyst for so much more. And it's a journey of one miracle after another. But to trigger it is about you embracing that, you embracing you at a much deeper level than you probably are right now. What is the intention of you? Do you know it? Do you know it? And are you worthy? You are worthy to discover that. You're worthy to explore it. You know, it is worth so much for you to be able to know that and pin it down and just feel and relax into that. When we think of, major players in this spiritual journey, the Nelson Mandela, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Maya Angelou's, the Mother Teresa's, the Dalai Lama, and I could keep going and going and going. Those are big ones I called out. Tony Robbins, all of these. When I call those out, can you imagine if they hadn't discovered the intention of themselves? If they hadn't explored and gone on that journey and surrendered to that journey, the world would be lacking. The lives that they touched, the lives they changed, the perspectives they changed, it'd be somewhat like lost souls, really. So we all have an intention. It's up to us to discover that intention and explore it and pursue it and embrace it. And that's going after our own magnificence. That's leveraging our God spark within and putting such a commitment behind it that it lights up. It lights up. And the beats are fast and rhythmic, and it's just energy driven as we get to the intention of us. So, what is the intention of you? Is it just an afterthought? You weren't born, you weren't conceived, you weren't nurtured, and you weren't birthed to be an afterthought. No, you were not. You were birthed with an intention. And what's interesting is you forward move the intention by your own intentions as you're going along the path. And that's where the traditional view of intention comes from. But it has to start with an intention of you. We all were born with an intention. And it's up to us to explore it. And I jumped right in because as I said, that evening didn't go quite the way I thought it would go or hoped it would go. So I jumped in, and now I'm going to take a step back to introduce myself. I am Jenn Drakes, and I stream bi-weekly on this platform, on the platform you're listening to me on. And I stream on these platform, and typically I would stream for 3 hours or more, but now because I was late, I might be a shorter stream this week, but I was determined to still have a presence and not do the easy out of, oh, I'm late, so I'm not going to stream. I wasn't going to take that easy out. So I'm here. If I can, you know, go for the 3 hours, I certainly will. And if I can't, I won't. But the question becomes, what is the intention of you? Do you know? Are you exploring it? I know, I can tell you I'm having fun exploring that. I'm having fun going on this journey, and the journey is easier with the surrender. The journey is easier when you let your God spark, your divine within guide, as opposed to you trying to take the reins. The journey is easier because things fall into place that needs to fall into place. So what is the intention of you? Think about that. It's, are you willing to pursue it? Are you willing to explore it? Are you willing to, you know, just consider and, create a space to say, you know, show me the way, show me the intention. I'm open to it. Are you there yet? And if you're not, that's okay too. How can you get there? What could that journey of discovery look like for you? Right? So this is just a great time of year to think about that, because this is the time to commit to the remaining days, to say, let me go on this journey now, and then for the remaining days I will do X, Y, and Z to support me finding my worth, to support me nurturing my worth, to support me, embracing the worth that I have. And I know there's many people out there that struggle with doing. Hello, Dr. Patricia. I am fine. How are you? I say hello, Happy New Year. It's not too late for me to say that. It's great to see you. I'm having a discussion about the intention of you. And I love it. Everything that I do, Dr. Patricia says to me, everything that I do is done to succeed. We must be intentional to know where we are going and how to get there. We are on the same page. Thank you so much, Dr. Patricia, for that affirmation that we definitely are. And we came into this world with an intention for that. There was an intention for why we came into this world, and it's up to us to discover it. The you know I kind of always say, my God within had a sense of humor, and they made sure I forgot why I came into to this world, so I can discover it for myself and use my free will to discover it for myself. And that is the journey we're on, is to discover what the intention of us is. And that's why I encourage everybody to, to celebrate their birthdays. If there's one day that you should be celebrating, it should be your birthday. The next day to celebrate is when you get to knowing the intention of you, when you land on your purpose, when you land on the why, on your why, and innately, from the heart that you landed correctly on the right why this time. Because God knows we've had tries and retries. I can raise my hand to that. But when you know you've landed on the right why, that's the next day that you write down to celebrate. So you celebrate the birthing of your intention, and then you celebrate the discovery of your intention, and then from there on, you celebrate the journey to that intention. Absolutely. So when you think of it that way, all these other words, purpose, and you know all these other words that we're using and hearing out there for that, get simplified into a beautiful way, a very poetic way, to embrace you and to hug you and to applaud you and all those things and the achievements along the way as you go through. And yes, sometimes you fall into trenches, but you figure out how to get out and get back on the road, because that's the human experience. And that's just, based on the vessel we're in as spirited beings, right? But we get to applaud that, and we get to embrace it, and we get to, really connect with that. So that's, start to think, especially as we all these newness. January is really a renewal month, and as we renew, as we recommit, as we get set on our path for the remainder of the year, this is the time to reassert the intention of you and start pursuing that. If you are, if you don't know, if you are trying to figure it out, if you're having a hard time as you try to figure it out, recommit to that intention of you, and knowing you were born with that intention, and knowing that your life journey is getting to and realizing it so you can pursue it, and like many others, fulfill the intention of you. Nelson Mandela could leave this world knowing that he, connected to the intention of him, and he fulfilled the intention of him. And may we all be so blessed to have that kind of journey, that when we leave this world, we just not in, we give ourselves grace, because as so far as I know, I've gotten to the intention, or I was on my way, or I'm in the midst, or I got to where I need to go. Now the baton gets handed to somebody else, and they move on, and then I rebirth and start again. You know, so when we think of the possibilities of all these things, life is amazing. Life is a blessing. Life is a kaleidoscope of learnings, of experiences, of achievements. How blessed are we to have this human experience? How blessed. And now we understand where the abundance of gratitude can come from, where the abundance of humbleness can come from, and where we can start to apply grace in our life and give ourselves grace for when we aren't stellar, for when we, you know, take things for granted, for when we mess up a bit and we step back, we take 5 steps forward and we took 2 steps back, and give ourselves grace for that. But it shouldn't take away from the magnificence of you, and it shouldn't take away from the reality of having a human experience, and having multitudes of human experiences that sum up into lessons leading us to the intention of ourselves. So jump on, let me know, if you were to summarize the intention of you, how would you summarize it? How would you, encapsulate the why of your being? How would you summarize that? And if you aren't quite there yet, where you can actually articulate your why, articulate your intention of you, if you are in a discovery of you, that's okay too. Nobody's at the same place of the journey. We're all at different points in our journey. And even that requires grace. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just stay doing the doing. Continue to do the doing. And recognize we're all on different paths of the journey, but a journey it is. And a journey to what is what we're trying to land on. And know with peace in the heart that you have landed on it. Because your heart will know. Your heart space will know. So, how beautiful is that? And I see all these people jumping on. Once again, I'm Jenn Drakes. I'm an author, I'm a strategist, a life strategist, I'm an accelerator. And I'm someone that truly believes in the magnificence that we all have. And I'm here to tell you there ain't nothing wrong with you. If you've got something going on that's just the universe way of getting your attention, stop the pace, the fast pace, busy, 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 I'm busy, busy. Stop the fast pace and pause for a moment, reflect, and get to the intentions, the real intentions for the hardships you're going through, the real intentions around any kind of conflict or confrontation you're going around. And if everything is calm and you're so much that much closer to contentment, then also give that gratitude. Say thank you, because it could be that you're in turmoil. And appreciate the intention of you. Even if you're not pinned it down, just appreciate the concept of an intention of you and roll that into gratitude moment. Roll it into a gratitude moment. Because life is precious. Life is so very, 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 very precious. And it's what we have right now. So, how can we make it exponential? How can we magnify that so that we attract and we reap abundance, not by stepping on somebody else's back, but by truly believing and pursuing our intentions and getting the blessings as we do that. So when I say life is short, it sure is. It sure is. Life is short. But when I say life is blessings, it's full of so many blessings and so many things to be grateful for. Again, with excitement, I say, it sure is. It sure is. And we get into the humility and the grace of all of that. We can be humble. We can start to really vibrate differently, attract differently, manifest differently, roll in abundance differently. We can do so many things. We've empowered ourselves to do so many things. We become empowered individuals. And everything that we complain about in life changes based on that individualistic aspect to ourselves. I always say we can't change others. We can influence others. We can't change others. So we have to influence them to desire change for themselves. We have to give them a reason why that would be. And then we applaud it and we celebrate it. So when we start to think of these things, I stretch my hands out about the intention of us. It's huge. It's not a little short thing. It's not a little, it's huge. It's exponential. So focus on the intention of you, you know, meditate on that and see what answers you get from within. And give yourself grace to not get it right the first time, or the second, or the third, but you will get it right. Right? So I'm interested for anyone to jump on and let us know how you see the intention of you. And what do you think even about the topic? What do you think about the question? What do you think about all of that? I'm interested to know your thoughts. I really am. I'm interested to know your thoughts. So, for all those that just recently jumped in, I'm Jenn Drakes, and I'm talking about the intention of you. I'm an author with a published book. I'm a life strategist, and I'm a business accelerator. And my goal is to really accelerate your growth, guide you on how to grow, how to deal with what I call stuff harbored inside that eventually sabotages your shites, how to deal with those things and truly thrive, lead a life that's thriving as opposed to a life that's surviving, right? So jump on and let me know who's brave enough to jump on and have this conversation with me. Who's brave as you're all sitting listening and doing other things and multitasking. I appreciate. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for jumping in, listening. I do appreciate that. So I wanted to really have this stream talk about just how powerful we are, why we have those kind of powers is because we have a purpose, we have an intention of us. It's a reason we're here. Are you aiming and exploring to discover the reason? Right? Like I'm looking what my shirt say, find the blessings in the everyday, especially when there seems to be none. It's especially at that point of despair, that's when you have to grasp gratitude. You have to grasp forgiveness. You have to grasp grace. And in today's society, far too many people are struggling in silence. I don't know where this came up. I don't know when it changed. But I grew up in a culture and a community where nobody hid anything. They just, at some point, then you would get the thing to be able, to manifest and all these things. But it's when you're at that point of despair is when you really, 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 really get gratitude. It's at that point of despair is when we really, 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 really learn our lessons. So sometimes we have to be pushed into despair. We have to be pushed into challenges. We have to be pushed into real. We've got some work to do to truly appreciate it for what it is. So again, what could be, what would be, what are the possibilities of you? When I think about that related to me, I feel amazing. I feel like, a, the sun is shining on me and just dwelled in me in a cloak of warmth and comfort and everything. It's such a beautiful thing to close your eyes and think about the magnificent of you. To take in a deep breath. And as you take in that deep breath, to send it to the heart, to expand the heart so you can lead with love. And know that even on, whether it's on the stream, whether it's on my podcast, whether that it's in person, to know that these three words lead with love guides me, guides everything. Yes, these things are wonderful. Yes, these things are humbling. So there you go. If anybody wants to jump in as a guest and chat me up about their intentions for 2023 when we start to look at the year from a holistic aspect, what ultimately will be the intention? How will you leverage that? How will you move forward so that at the end of the year, you have a ton of achievements to help wrap up your perceptions? So I ask these things: what are the intention? What is the intention of you? Especially considering the language of magnificence. We all have a magnificence in us that delivers such a gumption to achieve, to entertain. And Dr. Patricia Rogers, thank you so much for jumping on into support and everything. Thank you. Such beautiful concept. 2023, I believe, to be an amazing year. Um, yes, it's not going to be an easy year, but it will be an amazing year. And I think if we wrap ourselves around that, we can actually start to manifest that and start to work to change certain things in your life. The intention of you. Wow. Such a privilege. Such a privilege. That I'm actually speechless because I feel it. I feel it as an empath. I feel those words. I feel them. So, yes, for all those listening, please jump in if you. So, under this thing, we're also going to start to talk and explore intention, right? We will start to talk and explore intention. You as well, Dr. Patricia. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting. Thanks for joining in. And I love how you're multitasking and listening and getting things done. That's amazing. That's wonderful. It's exactly what I want people to do. Listen as they're cooking, or, listen with even with young adults, because that's one of, the folks I lean to and try to work with a lot, is the young adult. So it's nice, I think, when, we can share these types of things and explore and have our own little offline discussions. But for me, as long as I change a perspective, to change a life, then I'm fulfilling my intention, right? So that's really nice to hear. Thank you. And, and hitting those deadlines. Keep hitting those deadlines, right? So I'm gonna leave you because I was late with my stream. I'm gonna leave you with this thought, and I will stream again in my normal time frame. I will stream in 2 weeks, same bat channel, same bat time, 8 p.m. For 3 hours. I will do that then, but I'm gonna slowly wrap up for. I'll do an hour today, and then get back on track with my next stream. But I'd rather that than not doing it. So um, I was determined I would do it, and I've made a note. I'm twisting your arm to join me. Okay, let me see how I do this. There's a way for me to do this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I love it. One sec. Invite. Okay, so listen. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's see if this works. Tell me if this works. There you go. Yeah, jump in and we can I'll have you here on the screen with me. We can chat it up. Ah, I love it. I don't know if it'll work. You just challenged me to let's see if it works and you can jump in and we can chat. Or I can just show what you, yeah, I'm twisting your arm to talk with the intention of you. I love it. We all have we all have, we're here for a reason. If you know yours, that's fantastic. If you don't, that's okay too. We can still chat it out. But yeah, it just makes, it's just, I think we're at a point with the consciousness during the pandemic. I think our consciousness really got triggered. A large majority of people um, went to a higher consciousness of connection with themselves and just embracing and recognizing when they were in good, and when you were in the in like when you are in the, sorry, I lost my train of thought because I was reading something as I was speaking. But a lot of us got started to realize that certain things we had been doing in a routine base was not fulfilling, and then started to question, why are we doing this stuff, right? Like, why are we doing living this way? And changed. And then they wanted more from their lives, and they wanted more from the stuff they do. And that brought them to start really reflecting from an, from an internal aspect, start to reflect internally, and then project that externally. And they arrived at different professions, they arrived at different things, and they were more fulfilled. And I think to continue that, and to continue to discover and tap into your from within, so that you can project it out externally in a way that is fulfilling for you. And yes, we can put the words of passion, we can put the words of purpose, we can put the words of all, right? I'm I did. I thought I did. One sec. Let me try that again. I did invite. Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Copy. And I go to Messenger. Did you get it, Dr. Patrice? The link that you can come in. I sent it. So let me. I did post it on Facebook. So then you should be able to click on that link and come in. And if I'm not doing it right, by the next stream, I'll learn how to do it, how to do it right. That this is when you're live, eh? That's one thing I love about live is just it is what it is, and it's as transparent and as authentic as you can get. So things happen. Oh, I know. Here's another way I can do it too. Hold on, hold on, hold on. I know. Okay. I know. Wait one sec. Why didn't I think of that? Give me 2 secs, Dr. Patricia. Um, Hmm. Dr. Patricia, oh, you're on LinkedIn. Oh, ah, that's why. That would explain it. Okay, so give me a sec. I'm gonna. All right, that's where. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna go and get you on. Give me 2 seconds as I go. That is why. So it's coming to you in 2 seconds. Just let me get onto LinkedIn. I thought you were on Facebook. That's why. Now that makes sense. Ah, there you are. Okay, it's coming to you now. There you go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just sent it to you. No problem. I get it. I appreciate you though supporting. But if you want to jump on, you have it now. I'll be on for till at least 11, and then but it, so if you find time and you do want to jump on, by all means jump on. I appreciate it. Thanks again for the support and the offer to come on. Okay? So there so just going back to the topic, the intention of you and the fact that, happy Chinese New Year to all those, and to everyone, and it's the year of the rabbit, and it's another new, transfer transition piece of that you can recommit, that you can align things. We're moving from, I believe, the tiger to the rabbit year. So for some, it should be a pretty interesting year. I'm expecting 2023 to be an interesting year. Oh, there she is.
I'm trying
Ah,
to
there
give
you are.
it me. I'm trying to you because you can't talk. So I'm talking, but I'm talking. Yeah,
Can you how how are you?
I'm good.
So
How are
tell me what
you?
I'm good. I'm good. So tell me
I'm great. I'm not. Yeah,
what are your thoughts on the intention of you? What would you say to those
my
listening?
intentions are already done for the year. I've already done my
Mhm.
vision board and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I did mine in December. I did
You
my
hear me?
vision board.
Okay.
Yes, I can. I think so.
Wait. Hold up.
I did my vision board in December.
Wait a
I always
minute.
Mhm.
I think I think I still have you talking on LinkedIn. Let me turn that off.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, yeah, you can
Get
see the
rid of
difference.
that. Okay, now. Yeah, we still was that you talking back there. I'm like, oh, I didn't turn that off. Uh-oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How you doing?
I am very good. I am very good. I did my vision board in December, and I started
Oh,
the
you did?
year
Yeah.
with yeah, I start the year with a word, and my word for this year is impact, and I say three times impact, impact, impact. But when I talk about the intention of you, it's that you were
Mm-hmm.
born with a purpose. We sometimes hear it as a purpose, but and you were born with an intention. Like you literally took a human body and you were conceived, and the family you were with, you were conceived to, the parents you were conceived to, and all that was based on the intention of you. What would you summarize your intention of you? Especially, I know the many things you do. in terms of,
I can't answer that. That's too
no,
broad for me. I can't answer that. I believe that I was born for me. I was believe
right.
that I was born with every intention of what God had for me.
And what is that
Unfortunately, the
purpose?
path that I was on, He had it already laid out. But
Right.
I believe that as people, or I must talk about myself, we because it we choose to do other things in life
Mm-hmm.
that are not conducive to
Right.
what God's will is for our lives, and sometimes even harmful to us.
Absolutely.
And that's even if
Absolutely.
it's involving other people, relationships, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But God gives us free will.
Absolutely.
So because of the free will that He has given us, we deviate from what the true purpose was that we was intended. I do believe when you say what our purpose
Right.
was to be intended, I do know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, I was born to serve. That's enough for me.
I love it. I
That's
love it.
enough for
I
me.
love it. I love how you summarized it with
Yeah,
such, conviction and certainty, which is what I was saying is, in your heart when you've landed on it.
yeah,
You know in your heart when you've landed it. So mine in the same conviction would be to make everybody understand they have a value and they have a worth,
absolutely.
right?
Yes.
So I love how you say mine is to serve, and you do that. You do that. We know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and when you here's the other thing that you brought up too, is that we deviate because of free will, and we
Hmm.
we and then sometimes in doing that we end up with a dramatic type of life and experiences and things of that nature. But one of the things that I have been teaching recently is that when you surrender, when you actually let that divine lead you, and you're not trying to deviate, you're saying, I am here, whether you use the word to serve or what, I am here, guide me, take me, things are easier.
Always,
I,
always. When
it's so much easier. And that's what I've been trying to tell people is, if you just give your give your divine the steering wheel, and you sit in
Yeah,
the passenger seat,
yeah,
life is easy. It
yeah,
really is. And I know it's hard sometimes when people are going through what they're going through to fathom that. And I'm not saying it's an easy journey to get there, to grow to that
mhm,
extent that you recognize that and you can surrender. I'm not saying it's easy, but what I am saying is, if you're willing to go through the journey, if you're willing to give yourself the grace and the humility to say, I will not try to take the steering wheel, I will let you steer, life becomes very easy in that
yeah.
what you need falls into place.
Yes, I call that trust. I call that faith.
Faith, absolutely.
I call it
Blind
trust,
faith.
and I call it faith.
Yeah.
And that's how I live my life. I had to learn, like you said, I had to learn the hard way,
We
but it's
all did.
but this everything is a learned behavior.
Yeah.
Even to exercise faith, it's a learned behavior. It takes
Yes.
a lot of practice or whatever, but you got to believe in a power greater than yourself. I don't care if it's a doorknob. I
Yes.
don't care what it is, but it has to be something greater than you. As for
Exactly.
me, it's God. That's for me.
Absolutely. And I
That's for
always
me.
give this story when we talk about faith and all this. One my eldest once came to me and she said to me, I'm an atheist. And I said, no, you're not. And she
Mhm.
said, and she's like, I'm an atheist. Yes, mom, stop putting, and I'm like, no, you're not. I mean, if you believe you are, I will respect that. But I'm telling you, it's no. And finally she came to me one day and she said, why are you saying that? I said, because if you're an atheist, what are you being guided? Like what are you believing in? How are you setting goals? How you're setting, on what basis are you moving your life forward? And she paused and she goes, so I said, you have to believe in something. So
Mhm.
if you might come and tell me you don't believe in God, I get that, but I believe in X. It doesn't matter. What do you believe in?
I believe
And
in
if you
something.
believe in something, you can't be an
Yeah.
atheist. So when she wrapped that around, now she never says that. But it was a cute little, one of those, as they're growing up and they come with such conviction. And she was like, "Yeah, I just don't think in religion." And well, you got to believe in something. I don't care what language you put to it. What do you
Yeah.
believe? Because that's what's going to guide your decisions and
Mhm. Yeah.
your steps forward. So if you can articulate all that to me, I told her, I will respect it. Don't get me wrong. But coming to me with this dramatic think of,
Yeah.
and using words that you may not fully understand. Go off, think about it, but I'm certain you're not an atheist.
Wow.
So I always find those things really cute, and we sometimes make life very difficult, and we
Hmm.
all can. I put up my hand the same way. Had to learn the hard way. Had to
Yeah.
figure it out for myself. But now, at a certain age, you're in a certain wisdom. The wisdom apply, and you start to learn. Listen, you've been beating that horse for, and it ain't working for you. So find a different
Yeah,
way.
that's right. Well,
So
I just
yeah,
wanted to jump on. I do have a
I
lot of work left to
appreciate.
do, but I said I was just sitting here just doing my work, and you popped in,
Yeah.
and I was on LinkedIn as a matter of fact, and I said because I'm a networker. I love
Mm.
meeting
I
people
know.
because I believe that people need people. That's just the bottom
Yes.
line, and we never know,
Yeah,
So
and
I
we can't do what
was
we do alone. You can't do
I was
what
sitting there
you do
listening, and
alone.
I said, let me just listen in for a little bit, and then I wanted to just let you know I was listening in. But
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
I'm trying to do some stuff so I can, yeah, I'm going out of town next week. So I'll be doing quite a bit of traveling. I mean.
Yeah. So
So
safe
those are the things.
travel.
So that's why I say my life
And
is
I
all,
see. So
my week
tell me
might be
about
about
tell.
it.
I see your background of the event. So why don't I give you a chance to tell others about the event you have in the background?
Oh,
Of
oh
course.
wow.
Go
Well,
ahead.
I host online events. I'm Dr. Patricia Rogers, visibility strategist. And I am the CEO of Unity in Service. I always say where people need people because people need people. We can't do anything without each other, really, and I'm grateful for that. And what I do is host online events. I used to do live events, but when the
Mhm.
pandemic came, I stopped doing
Right.
live conferences. People would fly in over from all over. I'm very, very busy on social media. I love social media. People would meet me on social media, fly in. I put them in the event, and
Hmm.
that's why they would. So I always, what I do basically is open a platform for entrepreneurs like yourself to speak and share your message. If you sell products, we speak and sell, because
Hmm.
that's what we are. We entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs. Sometimes people say, well, if I speak at your event, can I sell? Well, aren't you an entrepreneur? Speak an entrepreneur sale. That's what we do. We make money. We make money,
Yeah.
we provide services. And so that's a no-brainer for me. And I set the platform. So I've hosted over 35 online events since the pandemic. I've
Hmm.
trained others to host events as well. And
Wow.
so this is what my God-given gift is, to bring people together so that they can be seen and heard and share their message so that they can build their networks, increase their email list as well, because all of our speakers
Exactly.
receive a copy of the email list of the attendees for these events. And I also am a business coach. I'm a best-selling author, and I'm an international two-time winning public speaker. So I'm good. And I retired in 2016 from Miami-Dade County Department of Corrections after 29 years of service, and of course after the politics in the workplace may
Yeah.
help me decide that I would never go back to work for anybody else. So I'm grateful for what God has given me.
You are truly blessed. I can tell you that. And I know that some of my platforms are not visual, it's only auditory. So I can tell that group that you're here just shining. And the name of of her virtual event is Entrepreneurs Living the Dream 2023. And you
Yeah,
can get Dr. Patricia on LinkedIn. So please look her up on
right.
LinkedIn, connect with her, Dr. Patricia Rogers. So
And if
connect
they
with
want
her.
to, if
Go
they
ahead.
want to, if they, I'm sorry, if they want to look at the link, I'm sorry, if they want to listen to, if
Hmm.
they want to check out the event, if they do hear this recording and they like to go to the link, they can go to enhance your skills
Hmm.
dot eventbrite.com. That's the theme.
Okay.
All of my events are under Entrepreneurs Living the Dream. If they want to publicly speak on our platforms, we have two more events. We have April, then we
Right.
have July and October. If they want to speak, we do have a pay to play platform. We fill the seats. You all speak while we fill the seats. And that's where all the work is when you're hosting events. You got to put butts in the
And
seats.
the seat.
Right. That's where the work is, marketing. And I do have a team of virtual
Hmm.
assistants out of India that also works for me and with me. So I'm fully loaded. Thank God. It took time. It
It
didn't come
just
overnight, but God
nothing
always
does.
gives us what we need when we don't even know we need it. Because that's the
Exactly.
kind of God we serve.
And
And they
that's the
can go
miracles
again
you get to
to
live when you go on this journey on the path, when you choose that path, the path of discovery. you really do live a life of miracles. And Dr. Patricia is definitely testament to that. So I thank
Amen.
you from the bottom of my heart for jumping on and the support. And I know you're busy with your event planning, and it
Yeah, I
was
got stuff
impromptu,
on
but
there.
sometimes they're the best when it's impromptu. So
Well, yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I do what I want to do. We do that, we just, yeah, but yeah, I can jump on. I can stop doing what I do. That's one good thing about being retired.
yeah, yeah,
You do
yeah.
what you want to do. But, and that's one thing too. That's the way life is. Also today, the world that we're living in, everybody's, oh, I'm so busy. Well, we
Yeah.
all busy. We're all busy. But at the same time, when you talk about intention, we have to know. We just have to know our boundaries, and we have to know what we can
Hmm.
change and what we can't change, because there's some things in life that just shows up, and you
Right.
have to put everything on the side and take care of it. So, it was a choice. I get on. That wasn't intended to do, but I don't say no to too many opportunities ever,
And
ever.
that's the way you have to be. That's the way. But here's the difference between when you say that and some others is that you recognize the opportunities. Some people
Absolutely.
get the
That's why I
opportunities
told you, you was
and
twisting my arm.
yeah, some people get the opportunity and they don't recognize it. So
Yeah, yeah.
you now see the opportunity so you can jump on them and and really take advantage. And
Well,
sometimes
yeah,
many
I wanted to meet you. I tell them, why not?
oh
I'm listening to you. Okay, let me jump in there. Yeah, but I just finished up when I was making videos and creating videos and things of that nature, just doing some stuff here. And then I'm gonna try to get to bed early, but I'm excited. I'm excited for what God is doing for all of us. We're still here and we all outlived the pandemic, so that excites me.
that's yes, exactly. And that's truly the gratitude and the blessings of it,
Yeah,
right? And to live in that space of gratitude and belief in,
yeah,
there's so many words you can put in. I'm always saying sometimes, you know, it's not about religion because it doesn't matter what you call your God. We're still believing the same, we still have the same beliefs and stuff that in a higher
amen. Yeah,
power, in that higher
absolutely,
power. So
absolutely.
awesome.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So
All
I'll let
right. Well,
you
it was nice. Divine,
divine tastical living.
divine tastical,
Yeah, divine tastical living is my
divine
movement.
tastical. Okay,
Yeah,
living.
that's my
I
movement.
didn't
It's
see the
really
word
about
living.
becoming the artisan of your life. So how, if you had a canvas, what would you paint of you now? Like, what would that canvas look like to represent you? How well do you know how much self love is in there that you know yourself so well and you have that intimate relationship that you could paint a canvas of you?
Right. So, what is your real name?
Jen Drakes.
I heard it earlier, but I don't see it right now. That's why I couldn't
Yeah,
remember it.
Jen Drakes.
I know yeah, when you introduce yourself, but
Hmm.
yeah, I was kind of looking on the screen for that. Oh, that may be it.
Yeah, that's it
Kind of
down there.
small.
Insights from
Oh,
Jen.
Drake's, I can figure that out. Well,
Yeah,
our eyes after we get so many
yeah,
of an age.
insights from Divine
Okay,
Tactical Living Insights
so it's
from Jen.
Jan. Say it again.
Jen, Jenn,
Okay, I
and
got
then
it.
Drakes.
Jenn. Drake's.
Yeah,
Okay, I got it now.
you got
Yeah,
it?
it's kind of small. I didn't couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Okay, sweetheart. God bless you. And it
Bless
was
you
nice
as
meeting
well.
you. Nice
Mwah.
connecting.
From
And
my
I
heart
guess
to yours.
if we're
Yes,
not
sir.
connected on LinkedIn here, I'll make sure that we connect. I'll reach out.
Yeah,
I'll see
I
you.
think we already are, but check and see. And
Oh, we are.
even if
Okay.
you, I believe we are. But if
Okay, good.
yeah,
Awesome.
because we've supported each other on LinkedIn back and forth with postings and different things. So
Oh, child, it's so many out there. I
I
didn't know,
know,
but
I
thank
know.
you. This is good. So again, that takes us right back to divine purpose. God already
Exactly.
knew the connection, so He led me to get on. I don't know, because I just do what my heart tell me to do. So that's a good thing. I'm glad we already connected. That's a beautiful thing.
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
absolutely.
So we'll be chatting then.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
good luck on the event and everything else. And I'll send some people your way as well. Okay.
Yes. 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 God is good. Okay. I enjoyed it.
Same here.
Jen.
Jen
I got it. Jenn. Jen.
and Jen. I love the way you say it, Jen.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So I'll be seeing you on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn then.
Okay.
Okay, sweetheart.
Have a
Bye.
good night. Ciao.
Okay, bye bye.
And there we have it. That was fun. That was great having Dr. Patricia on it. So she's now gone, jumped out. So yeah, so let's start to wrap up, and we're talking about the intention of you. I also have Michael. Hi. I just well, you'll be lurking. Okay, I love it. You'll be lurking. Thank you, Michael. Okay, all right, you changed. No problem. Nice to have you here and lurking. I love when they tell me they're lurking. They're listening very strongly into the things. So we'll be wrapping up. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm gonna go till 11 o'clock, and then you'll see me back here again. Not next Saturday, but the Saturday after, in my normal time and for my normal length and all of those sort of things. So I want to leave. As we're wrapping up, I want to leave you with a couple things, um, in terms of just the seeds that were planted, that we're talking about the intention of you, and just how intentional will you be in 2023 for the things that you want, for the things that you really 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 want, in your life, or the things you want to let go of in your life. But what will be the intention that you would set? And how intentional will you be? How focused, how heartfelt will you be towards those intentions, to do the doing that is needed to get them fulfilled? And we all, that's the difference between the dream and the reality of the dream, is doing the doing, but also doing the doing completely enveloped in the intention of making that thing real. And when that happens, miracles happen and these things become real. As you saw with Dr. Patricia Rogers, she said it wasn't always easy to get where she is now, but she's gotten there. And only she can speak to the ups and the downs and the twists and the turns. And because everybody thinks sometimes it's a straight road, it is not a straight road. Sometimes it's down three roads that end up coming back together in a beautiful harmony. And you think, oh my God, I would never have known that would happen. It would come together so well. So life is not about just, everything is perfect or everything will be one road. We can get to the same points going down a smooth road, a bumpy road, a river instead of an actual road. It's just life. And what we have to embrace to be able to handle the different pathways we will take in that, is we have to focus on the intention of what we're trying to build, where we're trying to get to. And so intention is one of those words that is, so profound, but yet so needed and required, because it helps to transform the effort energy into achievements and outcomes. And we need to look at it that way. And it really is a journey of faith. Blind faith is what I say, literally being able to take that step and not know where that step will lead, but it's a right step because it was driven from your divine within. It was driven from your heart space. And you take the step, and you don't let anybody, you know, deter you or put fear and all these things that will let you may perhaps go on the path that isn't meant, or the hard path rather than the more straightforward path, or the path that is truly divine paved for you. So just look at intention, think about intention, think about, again, what you want for yourself in 2023, and what will be the intentions you will do, or um, focus on to get you there. And one of the things is to just embrace where you are, because there's that saying that you are exactly where you need to be. It may not be perfect, it may be not what you think, but you're exactly where you need to be. So if that's the case, don't worry about where you are. Worry about where you are now, the lessons you're going to have learned and will apply that will get you, focus you on the future that you want for yourself, or the, and then start doing the doing towards that future. So these are the things, and it can be, as an example, very simple. It could be just going back to school and taking a program that you've always said you were going to take, or the taking of that program could literally transform your life. So it's those sort of things. If you see something like that, then what are you doing to actually get into the program, complete the program, and all of that? Do the doing, and then see your life transform to a new level. And then from there, we go again. So it's really how we look at life and how we progress that life in order to, fulfill something. And it's about taking it, very seriously, but at the same time still having fun, still enjoying. And I find, what I've found in my own experience is that in going on the journey, I am having fun. I'm having more fun than when I was in a job that I didn't like, or in a job that I didn't like, or something like that. So, it's a more fun, invigorating journey. It really is. Um, Thank you, Dr. Patricia, for that. I enjoyed connecting with you, as did I. Thank you so much for that. And so, it's really about those things that you are looking for, and how do you strategize. And notice Dr. Patricia used strategy in her title as well, and so do I. Mine is life strategy and life strategist. And because it really is about putting a strategy in place to get you where you need to be. And it doesn't have to be a big bang strategy. It could be small, minute steps as a strategy, getting to newer pivots in your life, newer progression in your life, and then setting the new strategies. So it could be small baby steps, or it could be bigger steps, or it could be big bang if you feel you can handle big bang. But it doesn't have to be. One size doesn't fit all. So figure out you, love you, embrace you, and fill your cup to overflow, to serve others in the direction and in the utilizing the gifts you were blessed with, utilizing the gifts you were blessed with, and putting it to work to change your life and bring abundance to your life. So we all have the capacity for that. And as I started out saying, there's potential in all of us. There's nothing wrong with you. There's potential in all of us. And look to your lessons, all your ups, all your downs, as lessons from the past that you apply in the now to get to your future. So, these are the things that we need to think and really set intentions. Dr. Patricia and I talked about doing vision board. I do a vision board every year, and I completed my vision board in December, because that's when I do all my planning for the coming year. And that led to my word for coming into the year. And then that word is leading to my intentions and my manifestations and everything to bring the abundance into my life, but more so to serve, to give me the energy, to give me the, you know, to do what I'm doing, to serve better, and to help and guide people to believe in themselves at a much more substantial level, and let them know that they are magnificent, they are perfect, and they just need to tap into what is it that they want to get out of life for themselves, and start pursuing that. And all the things and the people and the money and everything else that you need when you're on the right path will fall miraculously into place to take you on that path. But please reconnect and get on the right path. And for the young adults out there that are struggling and going, I'm trying to figure out life and I'm trying to find where I should be and all that, you know, start to take and listen to the wisdom of the elders and, help you to guide so you don't fall in the same pitfalls that they experience. That's why it's good to leverage the wisdom to avoid the same pitfalls. And some people will want to not listen, and they fall into their own pitfalls, and they have to get out of the trenches for themselves. Welcome to life school. Welcome to the Divine Tactical Living Institute, which is what that is, a life school. So, life can be easy, or life can be hard, or life can be really rough. Let's figure out where we want our life to be and take the steps we need to take and do the doing that we need to do to really get to that amazing life that you're looking for. And and let's start with the now, which is 2023, right? So let's see what can be accomplished. Set your intentions for 2023 and go after them in a big way. And I'm here every 2 weeks with the stream, and I also have the podcast weekly. I would encourage you all to please support and listen to the podcast Arrays of Living, ARRAYS, um, of Living. So I'll even put it up so that you can. It's on all major platforms, from iHeartRadio to Google to Amazon, Apple, Lipsing. It's and my website is Jenn Drake's all one word.com. So go and listen to Arrays of Living, and please support, subscribe, share the love. If you love, just share the love. That is always appreciated. Um, to share the love and just let's see how we can support, because as we said today, you need other people, you need a network to be able to support and grow and guide. So let's build a community of that with the intentions. So with love from me to you, my 3 words that I guides my life is lead with love. Is the 3 words that guide my life. You know, it has changed my life in that I get up and with those, that intention of that, lead with love. So from my heart to yours, until next time, thank you for joining me. Please pursue a divine tastical living a life. Learn to become the artisan of your life. Don't be guided by others or by what people think you can be. You be what you know you can be. And that's the fundamental difference. So I see the magnificence in you. I believe in the magnificence in you. And I believe in your potential. Believe it in yourself and start to manifest that potential for yourself. With hugs, kisses, my heart to yours. Good night. And thank you again for listening. And thank you for the support. And as I said, please support the podcast. That's how we grow. Thank you so much. And I will see you in 2 Saturdays. Have a good night. Good night, everyone.